Hey YouTube, I'm back again here, and I am finally getting around to building that computer that I've been talking about for probably 2 years now. So tonight I'm going to get started on it. Here's the parts list. I've got 2 Western Digital Blue 1 terabyte SSDs. I've got a Ryzen 5 3600 6-core 12-thread processor, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM, Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro. I've got a Asus ROG Strix B450F gaming motherboard. I've got a Sapphire RX 590 8GB graphics card, a Thermaltake RGB CPU fan, and I got some RGB case fans. So yeah, I'm going total RGB with this. Now, I've been working on this for a while now. The inspiration for this build, one, I needed a new computer. My old one was a decade old. And two, I wanted to give myself a challenge. And I watch Linus Tech Tips regularly. And I love their Scrapyard Wars series. So I decided I was going to do something similar. So I set a couple of rules here. One, all the parts had to be locally sourced off either Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. And two, no single part could cost more than $100. Keep in mind that I started buying this stuff in 2019 before everything went nuts. Today, there's no way I could do this. So yes, I spent $100 or less for everything you see here, including this graphics card, which now sells on eBay for upwards of $400. The case back there, I don't even know what that is. I can't remember. I got it for $10 on Facebook Marketplace. So, yeah. Now, you're probably wondering, how did I get a Ryzen 5 3600 for $100 or less when they're $200? Well, that's a good question, because technically I did and I didn't. Originally for this system, I bought a Ryzen APU for $90. Now, in between then and now, I did a build for a friend of mine, and the computer I built for her, she really needed an APU. She didn't need a graphics card, but she needed an APU. And having an APU in this system would have been kind of a waste since I'm using a discrete graphics card. So what I did is I looked online and I looked to see what the APU was going for new, and I just charged her for that and used that money to buy this. So technically I only spent $90 out of pocket for a Ryzen 5 3600 in a roundabout way. Anyway, let's get started on the build. And hopefully all this stuff works, because I have never tested any of this except for the power supply, which I forgot to put in here. It's behind me. It's a, I can't remember what it is. You'll see here in a minute. But the power supply does work, because I've used that for a couple projects since then for testing. But the rest of this stuff here, I have no idea if any of it works. So we will find out together. Back in a minute. Alright, after some issues, we got the motherboard installed. Been a while since I've done this, so I accidentally used a case screw instead of a motherboard screw, and messed up a couple of standoffs. Replaced one of the standoffs, but when I went to look through all my hardware, I only had 8 motherboard screws. And one of the holes was messed up anyway, so I just left the standoff out of there, and there's no screw, so 8 out of 9, that works. So, yeah, I know the case is dusty. I need to do a better cleaning job on it here. But I don't have any compressed air available to me. So, it'll get a better cleaning here soon. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in the CPU and move on from there. Alright, I'm actually with a friend of mine here, and I'm teaching him how to build a computer, because he's interested in it. So, right now we're going to put in the CPU. Now you gotta be very careful when you handle the CPU. See all these little pins on here? If you don't touch any of those, If you damage any of those pins, you're probably not going to be able to save the CPU. There are some cases where you can, but most cases you can't. Now this is an AM4 socket. Some sockets work differently than this. We do here, pull that, open that up. There we go. And now, you notice how one corner on here has a gold triangle. Let me get up overhead here. Where's right there? See the little triangle on that corner? That is how you line it up. So take this, and you also don't touch the die either. You want to keep that clean. You don't want to get any oil from your fingers. Don't get any oil from your fingers onto the die itself. So let's see here. You line it up, and you literally just drop it in like that. That's it. And the CPU is in. And now we apply some thermal paste to the top. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to go ahead and put in the RAM. But next you would put thermal paste on the top, and then you would put your CPU cooler on top of that. So now we're going to do the RAM here. And y'all seen that before, so I'll come back in a minute. Alright, unfortunately I wasn't able to use the thermal take fan because the thermal take fan did not fit the AM4 socket on here. It's got this little thing attachment there, but these plastic things that were on the motherboard were too short. So yeah, unfortunately that thermal take fan wasn't going to work. Plus I think it would have stuck out over the RAM too much anyway. So I had to use the stock cooler. I'm probably going to upgrade that to a Cooler Master in the future here. One of those big ones with the big radiator on it. But the CPU fan's installed. Need to go ahead and plug it in. And got the RAM installed, obviously. And I guess next I'm going to do the GPU. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, got the graphics card in. I did a little bit of cable management here as I got all the case stuff hooked up around here. Still working on that. Just got the power supply mounted, getting ready to run the cables for the power supply and all that stuff. So, trying to find some black wire loom to put over this ketchup and mustard mess right here. So, not too terribly worried about it, but it'd be nice if I could cover that up. But just moving forward here, and did get the SSDs mounted as well. They're inside. Found out I only have one SATA cable with me, so I'll only be able to hook one of them up at the moment, but that's enough to test it, see if the motherboard posts. So I also didn't bring a thumb drive with Windows on it here, so I can't put an operating system yet. I'll have to do that back at home, but I'll be able to get the system built and get it tested. So, back to work. Well, here it is, all finished. I replaced the front blue case fan with the third of the set that I got for the exhaust. I flipped these around because I noticed that they were going the wrong direction, so now they are exhausting, and this is intake. Did as much cable management as I could. I've already decided I'm not keeping this case because it's a mess. I miss my Cooler Master. I'm gonna get, or not Cooler Master. Yeah, Cooler Master. I miss my Cooler Master. I'm gonna get another Cooler Master, but this will do for now. So I got everything tucked away here. I'll flip it around and show you the back side real quick. It's not my best job, and I didn't have these. They didn't come with the case, so I got two open spaces. I am going to get an optical drive and a card reader, so these spaces will get filled shortly. I just got to get the stuff to fill them with. Until then, they're just going to be open. So around we go, and there's the back of it. It's a little bit of a mess, but not too bad considering. Got to tuck a couple things away here still. but not too terrible, all things considered. So, and in case you're wondering how much I spent on everything here, so the case itself was $10. The motherboard was right at $100. The CPU, $90 for the CPU. I bought two sets of RAM at, I think, between $50 and $75 each. So total for the RAM maximum is like $150. But I bought two sets, so I'm counting those as two separate components. Power supply, I think I spent like $40, something like that on. Graphics card, that was the biggie. I spent either $90 or $100 on the graphics card, but that was back in like the summer, fall of 2019 before everything went nuts. So overall for this system, I've got like, I don't know, $600 or something like that into it, which is not bad considering. Oh, the case fans, I think I spent $20 on those. I got a deal on them on eBay. But overall, I've got about $600 in this system. And if I bought the parts brand new, actually, no, I couldn't brand new. Used, this card is going for like $400 right now. And brand new, the CPU is $200. So the whole cost of this system, to me, if I had to buy it again, would be taken up by just the graphics card and the processor. So yeah, things are crazy now. So I got a good deal overall. I am going to replace the case, but it'll work for the time being. It's not the best cable management job, but I did what I could with what I with what I had. Yeah, it ain't pretty, but this is left here to power the optical drive when I get that. That's why that's hanging right there. I had some cheap AutoZone wire loom here to cover up the blue USB 3 cable. That's a sign of a top quality case right there when the cables aren't even black. And the Seasonic power supply, it'll work fine, but the cables leave a lot to be desired, as you can see by that Ronald McDonald mess right there. I've got this, just the controller for the LED fans just sitting in here. I didn't attach it permanently since I'm not keeping it in this case, but it'll stay there fine. Need to put a second SATA cable in for the other drive. I couldn't find one, so I'm going to have to go digging through my junk box and find another SATA cable tomorrow. But I got both the drives in, fans in, everything I think is working out. I'm going to go ahead and close up the back side of it, and then I'll give you a shot of the system powered on with it opened up, and then I'll give you a final shot of it powered on with the window panel on. So I'll be back here in a second. 3, 2, 1. Look at that. I haven't decided yet exactly what color scheme I'm going to go with, but it still looks pretty cool. I wish there was some RGB on the graphics card, but yeah, I ain't really going to complain about that. I'm just happy I got a graphics card that works. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And everything does work. I just did a post test a minute ago. Don't have a operating system put on. It's getting pretty late anyway, so I'm gonna call it a night. Well, I'll put the window on this, put the final side on here and see how it looks with the window real quick. But yeah, I'm done for the night. I'll finish getting it together tomorrow and show you the final result. and then we'll do some performance tests. See what this thing's got under the hood. All right, see ya. Yeah. There it is, all closed up. I had a hard time getting the front panel on. It did not want to go on. This is by far the cheapest, junkiest case I've ever had, and I am going to replace it as soon as financially able. I'm going to get me a nice Cooler Master with a big window. The window on this thing is so small, you can't even hardly see the fans unless you're right there. So, yeah, this ain't going to work out too well. The whole reason I got all this RGB stuff is because I had a window on the case, and window's too small. So, oh well, I'll deal with that for now. It works. So, time to break it down, take it home, and get the rest of the stuff done. So, I'll see you in a bit. So, it's been a while now, but I finally got my computer finished for the most part. Something came unplugged in there. I'm going to have to plug that in. But right now I'm installing GTA 5, and my CPU temp is hovering between 65 and 70. It went a little over 70 for a minute there. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to upgrade my CPU cooler, because just installing a game gets me to 70C. You know, actually playing it is probably going to get me a lot higher than that. So I think I'm going to have to get rid of that stock cooler in there. There you go. There you can see it. I'm going to have to get rid of that stock cooler and put in something like a Cooler Master Hyper 212 or something like that. I got my RAM set up right now to indicate my my CPU temperature. It's green between 40 and 50, yellow between 50 and 60, and red if it gets above 60. So, yeah, you can see right now I just hit 70. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to do it. Put a upgraded cooler in there, but that's not too terrible. So, I did get. It took me a while, but I got Windows 11 installed on here, and I actually got. Where is it? Not that right there. Aside from Word, oh, I don't know where it is. I got the Google Play Store working on here somewhere. At least I did. I don't know where it went. I'll have to find it. But anyway, yeah, I know that this thing, Windows 11 has Windows Systems for Android or whatever it's called on there, and I got that installed and running, but it only gave me access to the Amazon App Store, which only has like 30 apps on it, so it sucks. So I basically had to hack my system using YouTube videos, which fortunately I was successful with, to get my Android apps and stuff installed and working. So, but it shouldn't have been that hard. It should have just been, I mean, it's 2022. You should be able to run Android apps on Windows easily, but whatever. I got it working, so I'll come back with another update here once I get the new cooler installed. So I just started rendering a 1080p YouTube video. It's about a 45-minute long video, and right now I'm at 60% CPU usage, 70%, 60, it's fluctuating, and my temp's almost at 70C, which is about what I expected. Everything else here seems about normal. So, if it really starts climbing or anything significantly changes, I'll show you. Otherwise, next thing you see will be the stress test after I get the new CPU cooler installed. I'm still on the stock cooler right now.